before continue to have my hands on a lot of different small, minute things that are important, but at the end of the day, they're not moving the needle. And so I think building a team around us and really looking at that stuff and drilling down and having those people with their responsibilities and their objectives and their goals, and letting them figure out how to do it on their own to a degree, but always being there, and then freed my time up to really look at more things, in the perimeter and in the peripheral and looking ahead more than anything. Duane, Mizell, CEO, Stewarding Company, General Contractors. Probably 4 years worth of data that I just collected over time of things, improvements to all the different facets of the company, operations, estimating, different things like that. They just never materialized. It was all great ideas. It all had good content. It's just you can never get out of the weeds long enough to make them a reality. So really kind of got heard through another friend who was interested in doing it, and kind of found out about how it worked, ins and outs, and then we as a team kind of looked at trying to do it ourselves, just because there was just certain things that we knew would improve us and who we were, but just couldn't find the time to do any of it. I mean, obviously being a competitive person like anybody else, you want to make sure that your effort and what you're doing day in and day out for your team is giving you the best chance to win, best chance to be the best at whatever they're doing. But in the back of your mind, that based on peer review and other things that I've done, that there's other companies out there that are doing things that are better than what we're doing, and we're still, we're not implementing them. So that, it just adds another layer of stress and just the feeling as if you're not doing what you should be doing to lead the market and be the best of what you're trying to do. Process started, really took a lot of that stuff that was just jumbled in the back of my mind over years, and putting it on the table, and that there's a placeholder, there's a priority list of how we're going to get to it, how we're going to attack it and resolve it ultimately and implement it. Flow, internal flow, I think was a big part of it. Just really drilling down on day-to-day operations of what we do, who's doing them, and are they the right people to be doing them. I think that's one specific that kind of started from day one of figuring out how the roles were commingled beforehand and how there really didn't really just flow. It wasn't in silos, things like that. So I think really uncovering what people did, how they did them, and kind of dividing that out, I think has been helpful. I think me as a CEO, it really has helped me to get more out of the weeds and more focused on, the company and the big things, I think. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of our processes have changed, so with processes change, usually efficiencies change. Lower tier employees are able to do more than what they were before, doing it more effectively, more efficiently. And in our business, time is money. So, everything is driven by time. So the more efficiency and the more diligent we can be with mitigating issues and delays down the road and being thorough on the front end, it just picks up time, and it's unseen dollars that we're picking up as a result of it, that before, there just wasn't enough of me or leadership type guys internally to put our fingers on. But now that's kind of being delegated down to the lower tier. You're allocating time, in the past have been allocated times to maybe operations or more of the details out and about, within the organization. And now being at a higher level and looking at where our focus is and where we're wanting to go and how we're wanting to get there, now we're drilling down on things that, those type of things that are more important to us in the long-term future growth, rather than being so much in the moment about what's taking place. So yeah, without a doubt, that goes back to that whole list of things that we want to do to improve and continue to improve. Well, personalities are always a big part of it. I think in our industry, we prefer a client that knows what they want, that's really direct and honest, and sometimes you might not like what they say or what they want, but at the end of the day, you know their expectations and what needs to be done, and that's a lot easier to deal with than something more ambiguous or just not as direct. And I think that's who we kind of look for in a client who we want to do construction and work for. So kind of, coming in and having that same type of personality to help us mold and improve our organization, it just was kind of it was just a no-brainer, honestly. It just made a lot of sense, and that's kind of how we're all wired, and that's kind of what we relate to, I guess, for sure. I mean, I think the bottom line is it moves the needle of the bottom line. I mean, that's what we're all here. We're here to make money. We're here to succeed, to be, ideally to be the best in whatever you're doing. And I think it shows a true commitment to wanting to do that, because it allows you to really focus on details, allows you to delegate that amongst your peers, your team. And it just improves your bottom line, no doubt about it. I mean, it's just kind of how it works and what it does. So, and I think there's a lot of other companies out there that have a similar type thing, and for our situation, we were only exposed to one way to operate. Through peer things, I've seen how other companies operate, but really all I saw was one way. So this has really given us another set of tools, and above and beyond that, to just be way more effective and efficient in what we do day in and day out.